Welcome to Press Start Mzansi, the podcast where gaming, youth innovation, and digital creativity comes together to shape the future of South Africa. I'm your host, Bandile Phuthuma.
Welcome, my name is Khumo Moerane. Together we explore how gaming, digital culture are reshaping our economy, our stories, and the future of young South Africans.
Today's episode is more important and it's more than a conversation. It's a strategic moment. South Africa is on the edge of a global shift. Gaming is more than a culture. It's an economic infrastructure.
We are honored to be joined by the Deputy Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies, who plays a key role in shaping South Africa's digital future from connectivity and content to inclusion and industrial growth.
Deputy Minister, welcome to Press Start Mzansi. It's an honor to have you with us today at a moment where gaming or digital creativity and youth innovation is on our development agenda. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for the opportunity. Good morning.
Thank you, TM.
Okay, let's start with the big picture. South Africa is undergoing digital transformation. In your view, what roles does the creative tech sector, particularly gaming, play in building an inclusive digital economy?
Well, I think it's quite huge. That's why one would say gaming and animation are the huge on-ramps into digital, what we call, economy. For instance, if you accept the fact that they're intensive in terms of human involvement. When you talk about design, writing, storytelling, and all those, gaming has become a critical on-ramp, especially in ensuring that people who are skilled in those areas have access to online economy, to online marketplace, domestic or global, and they are able to sell their issues, irrespective of where they are, in the far-flung areas. As long as they are digitally connected, they are able, through their devices, to sell their culture, be it in music, dance, storytelling, and so on.
And beyond inclusion, how is the department ensuring that youth are active producers and not just consumers of value in this transition of the gaming industry?
There's a series of initiatives, Bandile, except that your initiative, in my view, seems to open our eyes more on the greatness of the industry. But few things that we are doing, for instance, we are focusing on youth in as far as digital skills development is concerned, especially to the extent that we train them through a pilot in Northwest, in the Ngaka district, where young people from those local authorities, be it Swahili, Ratlo, Ramotsili, Rema, and Mahike. There's a program there on audiovisual content programming, where young people are being trained on how to market their work. They are trained on branding. They are trained on business models. They are trained on how to access markets and how to prepare their story for digital platforms. And all such young people have actually responded very positively in that regard. So that's one of the issues that we're dealing. NEMISA, on the other side, is rolling out a program of training young people so that they are digital literate. One of the reasons that drive us in this direction is that young people are very techno-savvy, and they have got affinity towards technology. And knowing in South Africa that the biggest problem of unemployment affects them, coincident is that this technology is mainly meant for them. I'm saying again that your initiative has put us under more pressure to do better work in this area.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. You've touched on my next question about what initiatives you are creating. How can then young people then access these programs?
We have got a digitech platform. Accessing that, I wouldn't give you the inlet now, we'll give you how to access it. A digitech platform where up and coming entrepreneurs, whether whatever type of business, whether it's in the creative industry, where their work is, they are trained in a tailored way, they are given opportunity to access markets, and they also do pitching and so on. I can tell you after this, how did they access that? And over and above that, we are moving at a fast rate in the past 2 years in trying to connect South Africa, especially the historically disadvantaged townships and rural, to the internet in an affordable way. For instance, I can just give you one or two areas. One in Alfred Nzo and the another one is Mudimule in Limpopo, where we are able to connect young people to access internet through a gig of about 5 or 7 rand. You know what a gig costs in the market there. A number of ISP, internet service providers, are finding opportunities to run their business in this. But of course, now that we speak with you, the issue of the techno-creative industry, I have no doubt, not just to respond to what is there, you have actually imposed in me that I must also make sure that that is also taken in the connect. So we are giving them access which in whichever area they are. You know, young people, marginalized, poor, and so on. With an affordable access to internet, they get an opportunity of that kind.
In the backdrop of what you just explained, DM, there's many young people in these underserved areas who have shown talent, drive, and all those kind of things. What message would you give to them in order for them, those who want to play in this creative space, what message would you give to them in terms of how to reach funding and all those kind of things? What message that you would share with them? Especially in those underserved townships and stuff like that, because they do feel disconnected when it comes to government.
We are into initiatives, for instance, of co-funding with the private sector and building those relationships with companies like Microsoft, Google, AWS. They have got programs they offer in as far as training is concerned. All we need to do is to actually advise them how do they tap into that, into that partnership. Of course, we are nudging government for more funding. South Africa's mindset in as far as digital technology is concerned still needs to do more work. Just on a lighter note, I would have said to the Minister of Finance the other time, who we've got good relationship, I would have said to him, you know, my friend, the way you deploy resources is informed by old age economy, not the modern economy. Because the modern economy is in the digital space and it's low cost economy, high efficiency, multiple delivery quality, high delivery quality, and so on. And I was saying to you, even the VAT war would not have taken place if South Africa was connected, because the cost you incur in health now and education would be many times low. So you wouldn't be fighting for 2% VAT and so on. So what I'm saying is that the issue of connectivity has become the issue and so on.
I think also, Minister, I mean, just to share with you, if it happens that you have a conversation, be it informal or formal, with your colleague that is the Minister of Finance, you must please give him gratitude, pass our gratitude, because, you know, in the gaming space, they are the only, that is Jobs Fund, Treasury's Jobs Fund, that has supported us in this space. There is a project that we're running with them that is led by IT Think Gaming called Afri Games Consortium. So that's one of the government departments that has seen a reason to support this
then
department.
Bandile, you are doing my work even better. You are saying to young people, which I was supposed to have said, that the job fund, if they have got creative work and they need enhancement, that job fund does exist, not only for your institution. Generally, it's meant for all the initiatives that deal with the scourge of unemployment.
Deputy Minister, I'm just thinking about, I just read about the crazy labs, cyber labs, sorry, not crazy labs, but the cyber labs that are being rolled out by CETA. So I think that's a great initiative, because I think one of the things I've seen is that when you talk to people in townships or in disadvantaged communities, they don't have access to the actual computers for gaming, right? You need a computer, you need access to the internet so you can self-teach yourself, study on YouTube and so forth. So I want to commend your department and everyone else who's working hard to make that accessible. I think we were in Protea Glen 2 months ago. And you can see, like, then you're talking to the students, they're like, do you have the computers? And they're like, no, we don't. And you can see how it's difficult then for them to engage in gaming. So your initiatives are amazing, and they're going to help grow the industry.
We wish that Moerane could multiply those initiatives. Actually, I think we need to move at a different pace. Imagine if all schools in South Africa were connected, all of them. I was saying to leadership in government, imagine if all schools were connected in South Africa, that the poorest child would have an access to internet, would have an access to gaming, would find that suddenly his creative work, which you thought would never had an ear, now suddenly it's got an ear. Just connecting everyone, as long as you do make sure that issues of cyberbullying, cybersecurity, all those issues are taken care of. Because the online is another world. It's always its own regulatory policies, as long as those policies do not obstruct development. So the cyber interventions is an exciting project, but we're not doing it, we're not rolling out in all schools. Yes, but one wish we could just unleash the whole thing. We're talking with the Department of Treasury. They seem to have appreciated. We have made a major proposal for multi-billion, that if we get that amount of money, we can connect South Africa so that in the digital world, economy does not, the fact that everyone must play a role has become more critical. When everyone is connected, it's not just the government responsibility to drive the economy, but everyone is enabled, even in the poorest community, through digital connectivity, to actually play a role.
I think, but then this opens up to this next question about, we're seeing an increased global appetite for different stories. You know, from Africa, you see the South Korea. Everyone is putting their stories forward. So, in your view, why is it critical that South Africa invests in homegrown digital content and protects our IP, so that we don't we also participate in the global platforms and help shape them?
There's nothing as critical, in my view, as being a country with an identity. And the fundamental elements in any country's identity are the cultures of that country and the value system of that country. Where would you find that value system unless you find it in the brains and spirits of citizens of that society, young and old? So if you want and also the potential of that culture and the value system to also create revenue, because the world does not have our culture. It does not have our heritage. And I've said this several times when I was an MEC for Arts and Culture, when I had a session with Belafonte when he visited South Africa. We had discussions, and I came to realize that one of the problems we have, at times we want to sell to Americans American songs in a very distorted way, instead of selling our own songs. The proof is how Mahlatini, when he visited Japan, how the stadium was packed, how people like Miriam Makeba and Kaifa Semenya and the late old man, I'm just forgetting his name now. You would be shocked if I've forgotten his name. Brayu. All these guys went to sing in the world in a manner unique to South African culture. And as a result, because the world was exposed anew to this unique culture. The world went for it. All I'm saying is that investing in homegrown is not just fun entertainment. It's also potentiating and unleashing the economic potential that lie there. And it's a huge intervention for poverty. It's a huge intervention for self-belief. It's a huge intervention for a healthy mindset for South Africans. Because you'll be selling your language. Once your language is in the digital space, it's preserved. It's known. Once your attitude as a country is in the digital, it's preserved, it's known. And it also goes a long way to interest tourism to your country. The more you sell in the digital space, the more other countries would be interested to come and see for themselves. So I can say that it can take hours and hours to explain the value of investing in a homegrown stuff.
Now you touched on the private sector, public sector working together. And how do you see both working, that is public and private sector, working effectively, specifically around the gaming industry space?
I think everyone has to see that it makes business. For the government, it makes national interest business. For business, it makes business for business to be involved here. This is a huge market which is untapped. It's a great space for everyone to make a living. But we have to work together on it and be exposed and make sure that we work together in eliminating regulatory obstructions and all those kind of things. That's why the advisory council, it's something we are moving on to make sure that in that council we've got all the stakeholders to actually say, by the way, our interest is common. We have got our different interests, but which are anchored on a common interest of a flourishing South Africa. Because for all our interests to succeed, South Africa must flourish. So when we work together, it will go a long way to actually make everyone secure a benefit, building the country and also making business to succeed. Because successful societies, Adam Smith would have said it, it's a balance between individuals and collectives, public and individuals. When these two are not properly balanced in pursuing their dreams, the countries that have not done that are not succeeding. You suppress individuals, they fight public. You suppress the public fight private. And Adam Smith's philosophy will never age in as far as that element is concerned.
I'm happy to hear that at least there's a movement when it comes to that advisory committee, because we have had this concern for quite some time now where, we felt that the gaming industry does not have a home in the country. And I'm 100% sure my colleagues and everyone else out there can't wait to see that being actioned.
I've just said, Bandile, the more you are initiating me in this sector, the more I've come to realize what a high growth sector it is, because it's got this potential to include everyone. And the thirst there is unquenchable in as far as opportunities for business and growth is concerned. Listen, it doesn't require any degree. Pure talent in storytelling, pure talent in graphic designs, pure talent. As I've said, you just need your internet, your iPad, your set skills, which as a government now we're intervening. Because of its nature, its accommodity, its expansiveness, I realize that it's a high growth sector, huge part of our poverty and inequality. This sector, well taken care of, it can go a long way to turn around the fortunes of the country.
Wow, DM, I'm really impressed, by the way, I must say. Many people do not understand how broad this gaming industry is, because you need so many set of skills for it to grow. You need graphic designers, you need people in music, you need lawyers, you need project managers.
You need poets.
I'm really impressed.
To play their poetry.
So I'm going to use you as my gaming advocate.
Yeah.
So I'm happy, and I wish everyone, especially from government side, that they can take one or two things to learn from your understanding and the knowledge that you have when it comes to this.
You must thank yourself.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, DM.
All I say, Moerane, is that to me, I usually say to my team, if you want me to be an evangelist, show me the scripture and chapters. If you read me the scripture and chapters, there's one thing I master, is evangelism. Now that I've realized how critical and how powerful this thing is, and stay guaranteed, I'm one of your...
Thank you, DM.
Yeah, and free, by the way. I'm not going to ask you.
This is much appreciated.
For any,
Thank you.
I'm not giving you any invoice.
No, but I mean, you touched on things that, I mean, are really dear to our hearts. I mean, you mentioned about the power of culture to sell to the world, right? And I mean, there's an example that I love to use of Japan was intentional with getting people to love sushi. It didn't just happen overnight. They were pushing sushi, different TV shows, different on games, on anime and everything. And that slowly now it's the
Here's a Makosa. What is this thing? It's global now. But it's culturally, it's a culture, it's a culturally stimulated. But it's a unique thing. It's selling all over the world. South Africa has sold many such things. I'm not sure if you remember Ken Gambo.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I would at night to watch when I'm overseas in Canada. In the platforms there, I saw Ken Gambo playing there, highly popular. There was something called Molofish.
Yes.
It went to the world. At some stage when I was in MEC for Arts and Culture, I was in Jamaica. When we were introducing ourselves, I said, I'm Mondli. He said, oh, Mandla from Generation. I asked, how do you know Generation? I said, no, he's playing here in Jamaica. And we others dodged a meeting. We wanted to see Generation. We saw South Africa selling in Jamaica. The point is, as they sell to us, we can sell to them. I came to realize, Bold and Beautiful. It's an American revenue creation. Days of Our Life, an American revenue creation. Sell them Molofish to create South African revenue. And so culture is a highly exchangeable. It's actually exciting when it is diverse and so on. So we have to participate in diversifying it and in creating revenue, because what we have, they don't have. Yeah.
Also, I think I want to just touch on, I mean, what I think we spoke about how big this industry is. And I don't know if people know, it's almost like a public service announcement about how gaming is bigger than globally, it's bigger than music, the music industry and the film industry combined.
Unless music, we exclude it from tech creativity. I wouldn't say bigger than music, but if you say tech creativity is bigger than anything.
But I think it's individual industries, if you look at them individually.
Or if you put them in isolation.
Yeah, in isolation. Gaming surpasses them.
And you arrogantly say, if they were part of us, they would be gone.
No, but I guess it's just to show. But then I think the problem is that also how small our participation is as a country, as a continent. And I guess these are the conversations that to help increase it. I guess, can I jump to this question about if we look to 5 to 10 years ahead, what would be a successful South African digital creative economy look like? And what outcomes would show that we've moved beyond pilot projects to a sustainable industry?
That time when we are successful, it's when looking at the world, you don't spend a minute without seeing South Africa. Doesn't matter where you are. It's when South African products and services, especially from cultural point of view, be it music, poetry, dance, and everything, and value system, it's when you can press your button and find it everywhere. It's when you can no longer miss its revenue stream. It's when you can no longer miss how it would have achieved creating new hope and new love for the country.
Yeah, and you touched on the infrastructure side, the disconnectivity side of things, and I hope the department is doing something more, because unfortunately, gaming, that is the unfortunate thing about gaming. You need MTN, you need Vodacom, you need your HP, your Dell of this world in terms of making sure that this gaming industry take place, and I hope there's more as government that you can do in that? Because, I mean, yes, we have infrastructure in and around where we are sitting. There are areas that are still struggling when it comes to that department.
You know, on Friday, I was driving from the airport to what is this township in Bloemfontein?
Botshabelo.
Botshabelo. So I was communicating with somebody. I struggled to communicate between the airport, and I said to my team, by the way, this speaks about me.
100%.
Because what I'm suffering now is what
You're
government
supposed to
would
be
have
doing.
avoided. So what am I trying to say? Neither MTN nor Vodacom will replace a need for a fully connected country. That's what they know me in government for that. Wherever I go, every time I get the slightest opportunity, we need more resources to connect this country. So that's why SA Connect, as early as 2023, 2024, would have connected no less than 1.5 million houses. You know what does that mean? It means those houses have got access to a gig of about seven rand. They are able to, in their local, or even to access the global market. And we know that the more they get stimulated and get addicted to the value of the connectivity, there will be more demand, there will be a need for broadband, there will be a need for more width, there will be a need for speed. But you start somewhere, 1.5 million houses are connected to a 7 rand per gig. And we are moving in that. The point I'm trying to make is that we are serious. SA Connect is serious in as far as that is concerned. We are also making sure that government facilities are connected in the same way at about 10 megawatt per second. So the issue of connectivity, as I've spoken to you, is in the uppermost. The only cry we have with government is that you must show us that your mindset is relevant in the sense that you understand the centrality of this, so that when you talk money, if there's 100 rand, 6 rand must go to digital technology. Because one of my colleagues would have said, when I was still a minister before I became a deputy minister, would have said, as we move forward, one of the things we must attend to is digital technology. I said, no. Digital technology is not one of the things. It is the issue currently and going forward. All else will be cut out. So connectivity is now, or else our country stands at risk of being left out, because other countries will struggle to trade with a country that whose source of information is archaic. Because if, for instance, this portal, I trade with you, you produce the lead and I produce the body, and I'm selling somewhere, and for me to get these leads, I depend on you, and you're using the old technology to produce this lead, you will undermine my competitiveness with regard to all others who are supplying this portal somewhere else. And I'll leave you out and look for another person to partner with who's got quicker access to information, who takes decision with speed. So this thing of connectivity is not a fairy tale story. It's real. Yeah. Especially when it comes now to the power of gaming, which needs no debate anymore. The more I get exposed to it.
No, I'm just thinking about AI and how people are using it. And I know that's part of I don't know if the right word is mandate for the G20. Could you expand maybe on that and how your department is looking at AI? And
I just recently, not long ago, I had a first network in South Africa with the AI people, academic and the broader community business, to say we need to work together on how we develop an AI policy. AI's policy is very much advanced. It's on the way to the cabinet now, which is going to ensure the framework of how do we exploit the opportunities that lay in AI, but find a balance between the pros and cons, and but protect the ability of AI to unleash what you call the energy, because it is the most powerful technology that, if not closely looked at, it can create serious problems. There's more positive to contribute than the worry. So as a result, we need to make sure that no fake info. Somebody was laughing at me. I saw in the morning in one podcast, Trump and Obama break falling, and Trump could not break falling. And now the fact of the matter, that's not true. And I was watching children last night, little babies. They are being interviewed. I mean, hardly a day baby. What do you think about it? He says, no, I don't think my parents are my parents. And all the strange things. I mean, that's AI stuff. And the problem is that it's got a potential to mess up society. But we need to make sure that we protect AI against its negatives in favor of its positives. Because its positives are more important to undermine its negative. So there's a policy development. We've got AI hubs to actually make sure that they spend a lot of their time researching new technologies. South Africa are customized their solutions and so on. So all those other things. So there's a lot of work we're doing on AI. Actually, the minister deployed me in that area. I'm just excited about it, and I love it, and so on.
So on a personal level, what excites you more about this gaming industry? Because at least I could see that you were beaming when you speak of gaming on a personal level. I'm sure you wasted a lot of money buying your kids, your Xboxes and all those kind of things. So I'm sure now you see there's an opportunity of them being like,
it has revealed many things. My son would always ask me to buy games. I said, nonsense, I don't have money for this. And there are games that cost about 1,000. I was thinking about gaming from the point of time wasting, not its ability to develop cognitive capability, not its ability to build teamworks, not its ability to even connect your motor system with your eyes. So the ability of your hands to move in a coordinated way between your eyes and a lot of things that it's doing. It's education. It's amplification of cultures of different nations. Its ability to offer more than what people are fighting for. That's the fundamental to be. Its ability to offer more than what people are fighting for. The scarce opportunities. I mean, when you come to this industry, in my view, the issue of scarcity of opportunities is a joke. So that understanding is one of the reasons that I'm excited about it. Of course, I've already seen the power of digital technology. Professor Morala would have shown me a study that was done by Deloitte in America, which demonstrated that if they were to automate America, they demonstrated how many millions of hours would be saved a year. You must know it doesn't make million hours to make a year. But all what it says, what you usually do in a minute, you do it in a second. What you usually do in a day, you do it in an hour because of this technology. So that's the power of this technology. So having seen that, and then now connected to techno creativity and gaming and animation and how they constitute high growth industries, that to me constitutes multiplicity of excitement. I repeat that its ability to offer more than that which we are fighting for, because it's an everyone's economy, the gaming. It's not an elite economy. What is good about digital technology? Once everyone is connected, when you sell your product to an American, they don't even know you. They don't know whether you come from a shack, but when they see a good product, they just buy put money. It's an equalizing technology. As long as everyone is trained to use it productively, as long as everyone is connected.
And again, I said something to that about the world and the connection, because I've been in our studio, we've seen games, being downloaded in Papua New Guinea, in Norway, in like Senegal and Tanzania. So we're seeing parts of the world just from one game that we release, and it's touching.
Imagine if there were many.
Yeah, I think we also have someone from Brazil when we launched a soccer game recently, and I mean, like obviously they love soccer in Brazil. So, but then just that that thing that our culture, because we call it super disc, so really selling South African culture. The hero is wearing a makarapa hat, so really pushing that thing and just how it can reach all corners of the world.
And that Ama something, what is that? That song, Jerusalem, what is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We honor Jerusalem.
How the world
Yes,
bought
yes.
into that, and so on. And the other issue that Moerane is that we've got a unique constitution. We're about more than 20 years now founded in that constitution. That constitution has created a particular society the world doesn't know. And it has actually amplified our uniqueness as a country. The world would want to see that, right? It goes in gaming, that thing, right? And so South Africans can frustrate, I'm talking as a politician now, the way they're so conscientized, the way they are so politically clear. That is if you're a politician who is not accountable, that's the disadvantage this constitution has done. And access to information. And gaming can intensify that because it imposes an accountable government and so on. The world would want to see, because I've been in America, listening to the guys I will speak about their country, I'm not sure that we're equally conscientized. South Africans, we might be behind in terms of development, but in terms of conscientization, understanding your country, I mean, we are...
We don't play online.
That's why it's not easy to make South Africans happy, because you cannot throw thing on their face that doesn't make sense. It's because our constitution have allowed access to information. Now we're dealing with the issue of podcasts. People are worried. Should we regulate? Should we do what? It's because our constitution allows that freedom of expressions. There's a huge benefit in allowing that freedom of expression and the type of a nation it has created. Imagine if you were to find that in gaming.
I think we came to the end of this, and it's been really exciting. And Deputy Minister, thank you very much for your time and sharing your insights with us. It's clear that government has a critical role to play, especially in unlocking the future of the digital economy in this country. We really appreciate it. Khumo?
No, thank you, Deputy Minister. I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. I feel inspired that the way you are, your outlook, your belief and your passion for this industry. So I am really coming away from this excited because I still wanted to go more. I wanted to go on.
I want to thank you for the insight. Now that you're interviewing me, I am better than I would have been if you interviewed me before meeting you before. So you must also thank yourself.
No, we appreciate it.
Let this be a call to action. If you are building something out there, keep going. If you are in a position to shape the system, step in. And if you are ready to back youth innovation, the time to press start is now.
Thank you. We'll see you next time on Press Start Mzansi. Until then, keep building, keep dreaming, and remember to press start Mzansi.
Thank you. Have a great one, DM. We appreciate it.
Thank you.